Hey, we're in a serial killer's basement. There's a
Yeah.
bunch of dead baby arms on the wall, and
Now, contrary to popular belief, Connor and I have not died despite being nerdy
yeah.
and black.
Hmm.
But so this is our friend, the killer. Now tell me, do you fancy your lives, or do you believe that I
Not
will
really.
finally? I mean, depression isn't attractive,
No,
but
it's just fucking do it.
can you shut up?
No.
No. Oh my God, you, the
Oh my
sensible one.
god, you're just talking so fucking much.
Thank you. Shut up. Not your turn.
Okay.
Now you, the sensible one, the blackest of night, the shadow of man. Wow, see, I feel like
Well,
you are
being a
very.
serial killer is one thing, but being racist too, Jesus shit.
You know what? I'm just evil, okay? I hate Negroes as much as I hate push open doors.
Fucking discount Joker, motherfucker.
I had to find a niche, okay? Do you not know how many killers are? You have to have something that separates you. John Wayne Gacy had the clown thing.
Mm.
I'm doing my thing, which is mania. So if you could just maybe sit down, let me torture your friend, and then we can move on.
And why aren't you torturing me first? I mean, you already are just talking and gabbing the entire fucking time.
Okay, you know what? I have something for you.
Yeah, what?
It's cold. Okay. Ah, yes. Ooh.
Yeah, what is
How
it?
much? Okay, okay. Could you let me speak before maybe you interrupt
Uh,
me? Thank you.
okay.
Thank you. So,
Yeah?
I have a night. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for your friend. Hello there, the blackest of nights. It is I, Lloyd Carter, the serial killer. Okay, dude, you can't sound like that and make your name Lloyd Carter.
His name's
What?
Lloyd Carter.
You shut up.
It's really
First,
unimpressive.
dude, come on. I mean, you have like Ed Gein. I mean, like normally the names sound kind of fake, so they're kind of like Ted Bundy
Yeah.
sounds like a Lego character or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
Like your name is Lloyd Carter. Like I'm standing next to you at the DMV
He
probably. Like
sounds
Lloyd
like a
Carter.
friend of Spider-Man, not well enough to be like a main character.
Yeah, like he kind of was standing in the background as
Exactly. Was in
like
one
as he's being
issue.
bullied. Yeah. You know what? How about your pinky? Fuck!
Ah, shit! You don't have to do that.
You didn't have to talk all the way through my monologue. No! Will you listen?
No.
I mean, honestly, you use a serrated blade, which just rips and tears. A lot more blood, a lot more DNA.
Yeah.
I mean,
You just,
look. I mean, if sloppiness is part of your aesthetic, that's one thing. But I feel you just grabbed a random knife. You're just trying to be
yeah.
intimidating.
You didn't even set plastic on the floor.
Yeah, you really didn't.
This, it's
And this
unprofessional.
this looks like a really expensive tile job too. I mean, do you really want to upset your wife and kid? First of all, do your wife and kids even know you have a double life? Gerald, my name's Lloyd, mother.
Oh, this is
Dude,
sad.
you live with your mom.
Live with your mom.
Like I know that's a trope, but
You know, I thought I
really,
heard a respirator upstairs, but
yeah, same here. Like that's yeah. I mean, we were drugged too. I mean, here's the thing: we party a lot on the weekends.
mhm.
So we're kind of immune. I mean, honestly, we just thought maybe you'd be fun.
Hey, do you
That's why
still?
we
I
did.
I think I got like some rum still in my pocket. Like I got the mini
Really?
bottles.
Oh my god, you know what, bro? I actually keep the shot glasses in my pocket just in case
Okay.
there is a party erupting. Okay, guys, could you maybe, take
Do
this
you want some?
seriously?
Do you want
Yeah,
some, Lloyd?
I have three. I have three. So
Yeah, we
why don't
could
you try
we
this?
could do shots.
You know what? Fine. Fuck it.
Yeah, let's go, buddy.
All
I mean, a
right.
day
Okay.
definitely needs it because
Yeah.
that's a lot of
Yeah.
blood, buddy. You
That
want me
this
to
is
pour a
bad.
little bit on it?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Sure.
Okay.
Oh God.
Yeah, no,
Wow. Wow. That stinks.
yeah.
Ah shit.
I don't know if that's actually gonna help, but it's the
Not
best
at
we
all.
could do.
You know what? You know what? No, it probably won't. We really should just kind of stop the bleeding. But okay. You know
Yeah,
what? You know what? Ugh, what the hell is in that? Good stuff.
good
So you know
shit.
what? I'm a day, and that's Connor.
Yeah,
So we're gonna now run our podcast as
yeah,
we are strapped in. As Connor mentioned earlier, we have decorative baby arms
yeah.
that are from Party City. Dude, are you serious?
From parties, they're not even real babies.
I mean,
I
I
mean, it's
wanted.
still creepy, but it's still
Yeah,
like
but
less creepy since they're not real baby arms.
yeah, I was really hoping for baby arms. So You know, I was terrified. Now when I go home, I have to kind of tell people like, hey, they weren't there weren't baby arms. That was a draw. That was a draw.
Yeah. So so real
Mm.
quick, this is the day. Any cool shit you've been watching recently?
Uh, you know, I'm not. I've been so busy. I've been watching a lot of stuff. I kind of watch like older stuff
Yeah.
personally. You know, I've actually been on YouTube, kind of looking at these documentaries. You know, you heal really quickly. Shh, it's my turn.
Yeah.
So I was watching people cover the Lily Jean story. About this YouTuber slash Instagram lady like faked like so much of her life to kind of look cool, and I'm just like, holy shit, this is so fucking sad. My girlfriend fucking hates that lady.
Yeah. No, it's look up there's a YouTuber called Oki's Weird Stories.
Yeah,
He's you've seen it?
I have, I have.
Yeah, no, I've it's fucking fascinating. I don't know if you've seen the cult of Terry Tilly. It's the French guy who made an entire family believe that he was like a part like a secret agent or some shit and waste like hundreds of thousands of euros into him. So it's fucking crazy shit. And I just sort of eat that shit. I don't know if you've seen his John McAfee bullshit, but that
Really?
is fuck. His John McAfee series, he actually interviewed John McAfee, and when confronted about you know the questions on I'll be frank on whether he or not he killed the fucker or he raped some lady, he blew up, said the interview was fake,
Oh my
and
god,
then hung up the Skype call.
that's professionalism.
Yeah, I mean John McAfee's not professional. He's been on hard drugs since the '80s, so it's I don't know how he's still alive. Strangely, his Twitter icon. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's the fucking picture of Joseph Joestar from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I
Oh god.
don't know why it's the case. He's apparently he's a weeb as well, so spokesperson of the anime community. Am I
That is an upstanding citizen.
right? He's a shit. Uh, I've been watching all sorts of stuff, quarantine and whatnot, dating this
Yeah.
podcast already, but I've I watched through. I've been watching with the roommates Golden Girls, which is strangely held up and funny. It just reminds me of my grandma.
Yeah.
It's just this old lady sassiness has been fun. But one series that I've really come to really like, and I mentioned I wrote this docket a while ago, so you can tell how old it is. I watched through Midnight Gospel on Netflix.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that.
I have seen Midnight Gospel, and while I love the messages and stuff. Okay, again, murder.
Shut up! I'm talking.
Dude, come on.
Come on.
Like Midnight Gospel was like, because like I haven't been sleeping well since like my grandma died and shit,
Yeah.
so I'm just trying to occupy my time with like really anything.
Yeah.
And so I saw Midnight Gospel, and to kind of watch and kind of to watch about like how they discuss like life and death and all that was cathartic, but it was
Yeah.
also very disturbing with the visuals and kind of just how psychotic the main character is.
Yeah.
Like okay, it's like Rick and Morty with the veil of like a really homoerotic, super brightly colored psychedelic like Adventure Time, and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I guess I'll. I mean, that's everything on Adult Swim
All
now,
right.
so
All
sure,
right.
I'll watch it. Well, no, I know, but I'm saying it's like the style of Adult Swim
Yeah.
stuff.
It's honestly, I think Rick and Morty is like not a great
Mm.
comparison. Like, yeah, Rick and Morty can have that sort of psychedelic sci-fi thing going on sometimes.
Oh no, I'm not comparing it because of the
Yeah.
psychedelic sci-fi. I'm comparing it because of the social issues that are timeless that they'll like to talk about and compare it to, and kind of bring up the faults of man itself.
Yeah.
And Rick and Morty does do that. It's just season 3 is where it was like, oh fuck, this is horrible. And season 4 is where they're like, okay, we'll put in like 3 good episodes, and because like I've been keeping up with Rick and Morty, right?
Yeah.
And it's just turning into Dan Harmon going, I hate this, and I want to prove to you and my 8th grade English teacher that I am a good writer. And it's
Yeah.
like, you
I
really don't
but
have to.
as someone who's read I used to listen to Dan Harmon's podcast,
Yeah,
and he used to be fucking just
yeah,
like maybe the best term for it is just raging. It's just
yeah,
like I don't know if there's a better word for it, but he's just raging
yeah,
and like just sort of fuck everything. And over time, he's kind of mellowed out. Like I'll enjoy Harmon Quest on Verve, but that's not really Dan Harmon writing it. It's him
yeah.
improvising, but with his friends.
I mean, but that's kind of where he like stands out better is when he gets to improvise with his friends. So you get to see how he is in kind of a non-pressured environment. Because
Yeah.
Rick and Morty is almost like turning into like a satire of itself with how randomly he'll bring back certain plot lines and threads just to kind of go like, see, I'm a legitimate writer, and I'm just kind of like, I mean, like
You
the
you
first one, yeah,
you proved that with Community, at least season two. Season
yeah,
two is
yeah,
like I'll it's the single
I,
best season of television I can remember in recent years. Like where
yeah,
every episode is great.
yeah. I'll be honest. A lot of like kind of white-ish television with
Yeah.
like quirky characters that
Yeah.
don't really do anything with the racial characters that are clearly racist jokes, but they're trying to go like, since we're addressing the stereotype, it's like they're not racist jokes. I'm like, okay, I'm telling you, Ken Jeong, for example, that was like some of the, like that was like the most racist character you could have had him portray, and we have the Hangover movies, but he grew as a person in those.
Uh,
Like you didn't pay.
yeah.
Okay, look, I've seen all 3 of them, and I'll
Yeah.
say this. I'll say this as him in that versus Community.
Yeah.
Community makes him 1,000 times more psychotic and petty, whereas the Hangover movies are just like he's so invested with a good time, he doesn't necessarily care about what he's doing, like at all.
See,
So
I want to like Ken Jeong, but he just plays the same character. I mean,
yeah, but here's the thing: a lot of actors play the same character, but I feel like that's more of the casting than the actor itself.
yeah,
I feel like I feel like when they see that you're really good at one role or it stands out, that's the role they want you to do. Not everyone's going to be like Adrian Brody or Joaquin Phoenix or anyone like that. There's a lot of people just don't like. For example, you can take like Nicolas Cage. He's fucking horrible. I
yeah,
agree. But the thing about Nicolas Cage is that he's not afraid to go into any territory, and because of that, he does have good works.
yeah,
It's just a lot of the stuff he's also in doesn't require him to act well, and I think a lot of people look over that. They're like, "Well, the actor's bad." I'm like, "Yeah, but how many times?" It's like when you go to your job. How many times do you take a shift sometimes just because you want the money? You don't want that shift.
yeah.
You're probably not even good at that shift.
That's fair.
Yeah, and people keep forgetting that even though acting's a passion, sometimes when shit's dry, you just want a job. You know it's not good. And some actors do bad shit because they're like, I get to have fun with it. I get to be over the top. And sometimes that's the
Yeah,
perfect.
it's
Yeah.
like when like these like A-list actors take a we'll do a kids movie, like
Yeah.
Robert De Niro's in fucking Shark Tale. I
I mean, honestly,
remember when
honestly,
Robert De Niro meant something if it was in a movie.
I mean, okay, I'll say this about Robert De Niro. I
He
think some
hasn't
of
had
the
a
stuff.
good movie in 10 years, 20 years.
Oh no, no, you're right. But here's the thing, though. You also remember this about Robert De Niro now versus back then. I think there are some movies where he just is having fun with it.
Yeah,
Where you, I mean, look, as an actor, we can always like say like, oh, I really wish you were doing this good movie, but also think of the stress that is sometimes. Sometimes
yeah,
think about how like it's just not fun to do something with that much writing on it,
yeah,
and it's like especially if the director just gets you and they're hoping your experience in the business is enough. Because okay, you know me as probably like a decent voice actor.
hmm,
I'll tell you this right now: voice acting is super fucking hard because you don't know what the character is doing when you're speaking. So if your lines are done well, but the animation sucks or they don't line up exactly with how they're saying their lines,
Yeah.
that's difficult. Especially if you voice like multiple characters and there's dialogue between them or whatever. It's really fucking hard to kind of know where they're all going. Like Rick and Morty is a really good example of that. Like as much as I hate that show for how many bad episodes it has compared to good episodes, the voice acting of Justin Roiland between Morty and Rick is like genius.
Hmm.
It's really good back and forth. They feel like different characters, even with their progression as characters over the seasons. They still feel like different people, even though they're kind of starting to become each other. Like Rick's starting to get softer. He's starting to get a little more incompetent. His age is kind of starting to show in certain things. Morty is just increasingly less impressed with Rick because Rick has shown him so much stuff. It's kind of like, well, whatever. And the voices and the inflections in that are also done really well, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'd argue that Robert De Niro, like in Shark Tale, it was good because it was like he's almost parodying himself, but he was experienced enough not to go so over the top. You can't believe it because there were parts in that movie that were terrifying, even if you're a kid, or like it's a really high stakes situation. And you're like, oh, I feel this. And there are a lot of movies that even have real actors that don't fucking do that. They don't know how to do stakes. For example, Walking Dead is one. Walking Dead is kind of like Games of Thrones, where they just start killing characters off, and that was
Yeah.
their stake. It wasn't even like, oh, I like this character, I don't like it. They're just like, okay, so we're done with season 4, right? Yeah. Okay, we can start being bad. Thank God, we got our money. Okay, great.
Yeah. No.
This
You
is
ever
awesome.
you ever notice that like usually it's like the first 5 seasons are great of any show, and then after
Hmm.
that they just don't give a shit anymore.
Well, because it's like, well, the problem is like if you work too hard, people will just get really mad at story direction because they just want either the characters have like this beautiful arc, and it's just like if you want your characters to have a good arc, it just takes a while. It takes a long time. People have to die. People have to change or whatever. I think the worst offenders would be cartoons because they start doing what sitcoms do, where they just start repeating scenarios and hoping that their twist on it without actually offering a twist. Just maybe the characters are different enough, the scenario becomes different, and it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, like again, I'll say like as someone who likes to voice act a lot, one of my favorite things to do when I voice act someone, right,
Hmm.
is to play with their personalities and make them almost petty. Like whenever I do like my Hitler impression, I almost make them like like how like in the '90s they would always do like German men are for some reason super gay and effeminate, right?
It's always the screechy. Oh my Führer! Oh.
Yeah. So I decided to play with that a little bit and just go like, okay, well, you know what? I want to let you guys know something. I want to have some cutbacks in the concentration camps. Wait, what? Okay, look, I'm not saying that we have to, do this and that, but I just think that maybe we're killing too many Jews. Okay, what? You are the Führer. We're killing too many. Okay, look, our gas bill is like really high. The food that we have to
Yes.
ration is still a lot to buy. I went to the store and I got 5 loaves of bread, and I had to knowingly distribute that. And honestly, even I feel bad. I'm like 5 loaves. I mean, wow, it's like one camp. This is like we have like 20 or something. I mean, I'm not checking, but like I just feel, maybe we could just kind of chill with the whole Jews, gypsies, blacks, gays, ill thing. Maybe we could, do something that's really bothering us, like foxes who eat our crops. I think that is a better example of something we need to do. I don't think it has to just straight up be, like Jews. I mean, they are the piggies, but what about the animals who hunt them? Okay, see, in your analogy, we are the animals who hunt them, so we need to be exterminated. Oh, wow. Huh. Wow.
That day
Huh.
was 1945.
Wow, you know
The
what? I
day
really don't.
Hitler killed himself.
But see how I could have like turned that into like this jumpy
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
hello there, and then
yeah.
like I kind of subverted it.
Cartoonish. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
It's
like it. Yeah.
It got a little uncomfortable here and there. I'll be honest, but yeah.
Well, here's the thing
I
about
mean,
humor that
it's Hitler.
yeah.
Of course, it's
Well,
going to be uncomfortable.
I mean, that's my point, but that's what I feel a lot of cartoons and stuff, especially adult satire cartoons, don't do. I'm not going to necessarily blame the left, but I will say that people don't
But you're
understand
going to
that.
blame the.
No. Okay, look. Because people want to blame the left all the time for, kind of pussifying the nation, right?
Hmm.
Whereas, like, everyone is kind of pussified, regardless of what side they're on. Everyone's hypersensitive. The problem is, I feel like dark humor is something that people still really, really like, but they're afraid to like it because it's not nice. And I'm like, look, humor is suffering. If you've ever watched a cartoon, like the coyote suffers, he's getting hit, and we're laughing at it. Like if we're really sensitive, that's animal abuse.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like it's not supposed to be funny if you break it down. If you break anything down, humor is like the most I can't say the fucking word because I'm stupid, but it's one of the most torturous things I can
It's
think of. It's not
and
hedonistic, I want to say.
it's the see. There's two philosophies I have on it. It's that
Okay.
one of the humor is suffering, obviously,
Yes,
but
yes.
a lot of humor
Mm.
is subverting expectations.
No,
I mean,
no, that's true.
that's why Wiley and Coyote is so funny. Because
No, I
yes,
know
the
because
Wily Coyote could drop that anvil on the Roadrunner's head and he could just die, or
yeah.
the anvil could like loop back around and hit Wiley Coyote. It's
Oh, no,
that's
no,
funny.
it's true. No, it is. But the thing is I feel like to be offensive, you have to be funny to also subvert the expectations because you have to work with these stereotypes and shit to make them work. It's like if like for example, a lot of black humor movies will play on like hood stuff and kind of how because the judgment of the mentality is what's stopping it from progressing. Sometimes that mentality is like the same mentality a business person would have. Like if you have someone's like Jenkins, we need new fresh ideas. We have a new minority hire, Ladarius Bitch Shank Redemption Man guy. Come in here.
Bitch.
Yo, what's good? I'm black. I like your tone. Now, we have these numbers here, numbers and stuff, and I don't know how to make them work and whatever because I'm white. Now, quickly, give me some of your hood logic to make these numbers work, Kenton. Well, what if you just take the three, right? Like you got like three niggas. I like that word, but I can't agree with you on its meaning. But go on. Okay, so you just take like three niggas, right? And you have like a bottle of Hennessy, right? But here's the thing. And them niggas gonna really work for the Hennessy or they're gonna work for their own reasons to get the Hennessy for themselves? My God, you're right. A tri-merger for this business will get us in the hourly, quarterly immediately. And that's the shitty part. You have to work with those stereotypes to
Yeah.
get that. But I know that your girlfriend probably wants to murder us because she can
Yeah.
probably hear my voice
Yeah.
from
It's
Orlando.
I don't know if she can hear your voice, but she
I'm loud. I'm loud enough. She can hear me in Orlando.
yeah. So
So yeah,
I,
because I got my baby near me. She ain't feeling good, so I gotta.
yeah, I think we should.
Yeah.
I might cut this recording because I never stopped. You want anything to plug? I might record. Uh,
Uh,
I might cut that beginning part in where we did our serial killer bit, and I might just start it there.
oh, okay. So we'll do that. Okay. I would like to plug. I would like to plug my band Black Clash. We're actually recording a single next week, and we will probably be releasing it the day after, probably Saturday. So check that out. Connor, if you have anything.
Follow me here on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter, Boosh at ConJoined Artists. Uh, Also, join the Discord, the ConJoined Artists Discord. Do it, or a day will kill you. We'll do it.
I definitely will.
Or the serial killer.
I yes, finally, I have finally been mentioned. Yes, I'll find you. I'll kill you. I'll do the stabby stab. I'll do the
Okay,
little
okay,
cutty cut.
that's enough.
I,
You can stop now. It's a little
you
much.
know what? I'm going to come back in a part 2 episode.
I'm sure you will. All right.
I am not the one off character.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
I'm
it's been
Lloyd Carter.
that's been our first episode of our podcast.
I'm Lloyd Carter.
All right. Bye now.
Bye.